Welcome back to Biblical Thinker, where we encourage you to get into God's Word. Today, we are going to be on the book of Matthew. So we're going to be in the book of Matthew chapter 5, and this is the Beatitudes. These are the Beatitudes of Jesus that he was on a mount, okay? There was thousands of crowds. This was after the temptation. Okay, and he had to get on the mountain because there was thousands of crowds. He didn't want to be crowded. So he was able to speak to them clearly on this mount, apparently. So let's get into it. Matthew chapter 5. It says the Beatitudes. When Jesus saw... Now we're only going to read the Beatitudes. We're only going to read from verse 1 all the way to verse 12. Now the rest of it is talking about what Jesus is talking about, like adultery or something like that. He's talking about different topics after that, and he talks about marriage, he talks about all that, Let's get into the text. When Jesus saw the crowds, he went up the mountain, and after he sat down, his disciples came to him. He opened his mouth and began to teach them, saying, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the gentle, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Blessed are those who have been persecuted for the sake of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people insult you and persecute you and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward in heaven is great. For in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you." And so Jesus is saying, if you do what I described as blessed, you are blessed. You are blessed when you have nothing, yet you realize your need for God, for the kingdom of heaven is yours. That's a paraphrased version of Matthew 5, verse 3. And so Jesus is giving an example of what righteousness should look like. He's giving us an example of what true Christians do. And so the Beatitudes are very encouraging. They're very encouraging. And there's also a second Beatitudes. It's in the book of Luke. It's in Luke chapter 6. And go from verse 20 to about 24, and that will be a little bit of Luke's Beatitude. And so the Beatitudes are so wonderful. They teach us how to be righteous. And these are the different things that are part of being a Christian when you become a Christian, because faith without works is dead. Thank you for listening to Biblical Thinker, where we encourage you to get into God's Word. Thank you, and God bless. And may Jesus be everywhere.